Back on the road, legends. Buckley and I are in the car. We've got the boat behind us and we're on our way to Shark Bay. Buckley and I are going to go out trying fishing. We're going to try and bottom bounce. We're going to try and jig, do a bit of trawling, and also, fish with a bit of bait as well. We're going to try some squid in the area. I haven't really got any fishing marks up here, so this is all. I've got 2 days of really trying to find some food. And we're going to go camp out wherever we can get to, and where the sun sets is where we'll rest our head and pull up for the night, anchor the boat, and do it all again the next day. Let's see what happens. Just got to navigate these super shallow sandbanks, make a bit of a mark, and then know where I'm going next. Fully loaded, got heaps of water, heaps of fuel, 100 litres of fuel, 30 litres of water, 5 litres of beer. And a few snacks, but hopefully we get some fish. So it's definitely not the Shark Bay, picturesque Shark Bay that I'm used to. The blue skies, no wind, glass off, dugongs, mating with whales. It's overcast, it's threatening to rain. The wind chop is up. Had a really wet ride coming over this side. Kind of went east for a little bit, tried to play around with some islands, and then wanted to come back, and coming back was a slow journey. So I'm just kind of trawling along this cliff line. There's not much on the sounder this whole stretch, so pretty much don't have another plan today until I get to camp. So we may as well trawl the last little bit. At least give the clothes some time to dry off and just enjoy this insane scenery.
Fresh blood's all I need, so take me out dancing, baby. I got these paradise blues, everything to gain.
At least we got a fish on board in the late hours of Savo. Buckley's wondering where the hell that thing came from. Look, it's just little shark mackerel. Like I said, some people chuck them straight back, but others know what to do with them. They're not a 5-star fish, but look, it's still not a bad feed either. So I'm going to keep this one because right now, this is early days of our fishing, so better to have something in the freezer than nothing at all. Now that he's seen the rod and the lure and what it brings in, doesn't want to leave the rod.
Let's go and hitch a ride with something that flies. Yeah, I'll be digging up looks, still wearing a clean shirt, singing all. Let's cut it loose, take me out now.
Shark Bay is an incredible location for hanging out on the beach, for fishing, for diving, for forward driving, for exploring, for camping. It's a World Heritage Area. It's got a lot of history, both good and bad. you know, there's and just recently, I heard on the radio that they found a bronzed Buddha from the 1400s. It's been dated to, just buried in the sand, just off one of the beaches here in Shark Bay. Unfortunately, you know, more came to light that it had only kind of been in the sand there, or in the mud, for the last 140 years, which kind of pulls things back to the Cantonese camps, which is the Asian population migration that came in early on, trying to get into the pearling industry, and were setting up camp here in Shark Bay to try and, you know, work and prosper from the pearling boom. Unfortunately, European settlement and you know, white Australia pushed them out and almost created an Asian and Cantonese, well, Cantonese for the camp name, ban on the pearling industry, because they just found that as an opportunity to ban the Asian people from prospering also from the pearling industry. So they were soon moved out of here and left to basically the rest of European settlement to run the pearling industry and run the show. I was like, what am I going to do? Put my right hand in the handline. Come here. Whatever it is, it went for the handline first. Oh, it's a massive GT. Oh. That's the size of it! Holy shit! There's the size of that boy. Whew. I see a whole school of them as I was bringing him right up close to the boat. Whew. On again. 2 minutes. Looked down and all I saw was yellow tails everywhere. Right, I'm just going to let this one go, unhook him and... Fun to fight, definitely a fun fish to fight, but we've got one in the bait box here. It doesn't quite fit, so we definitely don't need another one. Might have one little trawl on the way in, and that's about it. Didn't have the best day fishing. You know, we only really fished for like the last hour, and not in like prominent fishing spots. So definitely can't complain. You know, they're both 3-star fish. But it's definitely what you do with them and how you treat them as soon as you catch them. So cook them up and maybe do a bit of a tempura kind of popcorn shark mackerel. I think could be nice. And but yeah, for now, just parking up here and camp here for the night. Can't complain with that. Massive stingray just here. Oi, get out, get out. Oh my god, it is. There's the size of him. So big and just chilling there, right behind the boat. His tail, just the barb, was like, almost 6 feet long. There's also, just off the coast here, fair way off the coast, there's 2 islands, Bernia and Dore Island, and they were known, well, they've been deemed Aboriginal heritage sites now from a very dark past where between 1908 and 1918 people were rounding up Aboriginal families off the mainland here between Carnarvon and Port Hedland and around Shark Bay. If you were thought to have suffered from tuberculosis or some kind of leprosy, I'm sure probably other diagnoses that the doctors would have given you then, but to whose discretion, you were grabbed off the mainland with your family, put on a ship, and they sailed you out to the Lock Hospital. I think it was the men were on Bernia Island and the women were put on Dore Island, so full separation of the family from your loved ones. And you basically lived and died out there if you suffered from any of these diseases and weren't able to survive. You would perish out there. In 1918, they thankfully closed it down due to funding. Anyone that was still alive, they sent to Port Hedland. But I've been out to those islands, near those islands, and it is so remote and so desolate and barren, and I just, to survive out there, to be put out there unwillingly and have to survive out there, it's a horrible mark once again across European settlement and the wide Australia towards people that own this land. They grew up, their history is all throughout this land, and yet they grabbed them and chucked them out on an island. Meanwhile, everyone else got treated as a human and as a patient back on the mainland who wasn't Aboriginal. So full on area, this Shark Bay. It's incredibly beautiful though and has a lot to offer. But shit, that's some dark days. Got a big goat walking up the beach to us right now. Oi. Buckley. Buckley. No noise at all. No wind. It's like a lake out there right now. The only noise was the rowdy bloody crabs trying to get into the packet food that I'd eaten last night. So every couple of hours I hear these, you hear their claws like just trying to get into it. I was like, shit. So I ended up bringing it inside, but that was pretty much it. It was about as eventful as the night got. Finally some sun as well. Well, it's coming anyway. I'll try and get out around the point, around the cape here, to trawl before the sun comes up. Give my best chance at some tuna and mackie. Walk out a fair way this morning. It's too shallow. Not worth the prop and everything hitting anything or sucking anything up, or plus it's a nice walk.
Something real, it's time that I begin. Here I am right now, say that I'm proud. Get mad, yeah. It's not funny, no mistake. These eyes are fine, you feel my mind and manifest. This is life. Suddenly free. Smells all right.
Pull us in, mate. Should have bought a stabie. Wow. Only people that get to come to this spot is people with a boat. No footprints except ours. Good boy. Come on, get over. Just wet everything while you're at it. Good boy. Alright. Good boy. Come here. That's it, legends. Look, a very quick trip to Shark Bay. Definitely not enough time. Only had 24 hours there before I have to move on to basically the next adventure I've got planned. I can't praise Shark Bay enough. It's such an incredible place. You know, the wildlife there, countless like massive turtles. We saw sea snakes, dolphins, sharks. Not a whole lot of fish. Look, I spoke to a few other boats that were out near where I was as well, and it seems everyone was having a bit of a tough trot. So, you know, after I got my couple of fish, ended up with only with a shark mackerel and a golden trevally, but big sized golden trevally. It's still food, and you know, to start this trip, I just wanted a couple of fish on the board and a couple of fish in the freezer to get me by the lulls, if there are lulls ahead. So the boat handled so well. I loaded it up. You know, we had 100 litres of fuel, had 30 litres of water, all the camera gear, you know, dive gear, weight belts, all that kind of stuff. Buckley, you know, he's 20 kilos soaking wet. So no, it went really well, even in some choppy conditions out there. But man, when it was like, you know, shallow water and crystal, oh, it was a real treat to be out there in this Davy craft. You know, when the fish went quiet, I kind of just pulled the pin and thought, you know, I want to go explore and I want to see the sights around here. I've already got fish in the freezer, so you know, why waste time trying to get more when I can explore just a little window of what Shark Bay has to offer. So anyway, fish are now in the freezer. I'm uploading all the footage, having a beer, and it's on to the next adventure. But yeah, what a place Shark Bay is, and I hope you enjoy the footage, guys. Thanks for watching.